This is really impressive.
So we'll go into the office and then we'll come back.
Wow. You can make screens this big?
Oh, way bigger than that. That's just a fabric cutter. So a lot of people have got a fancy demo room and I have a sewing machine.
Hi Simon.
Hi there.
Artif, nice to meet you.
So Simon's my business partner and somehow we end up with this place.
And then suddenly we saw a few Roman ruins and thought, okay, we're in New York now.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Hi everyone, it's Arthur from Zebra Home Cinema. Today I'm in the beautiful area of North Yorkshire and I'm here at the Surround Group with Neil Davidson, who's going to take us on a bit of a factory tour and tell us about some of the gems to do with AV tech, home cinema and interior lighting. In a room that is something like an aircraft hangar, but there's no aircraft in here, so what's going on?
So in here, this is the messy part of production. So this is where we handle all of our metal processing, all the dirty manufacturing like Rich is putting together. Actually a speaker box at this minute in time, that's a typical thing that we will do. Over at the back of the room is where we do all of our CNCing. So we try to keep all of the messy work in this space here. It's also where all the most fun toys are, I think, in a room like this. It's certainly where you'll cut your fingers off most quickly.
Okay. Keep my hands nice and safe.
So we're lucky that we've got Atif here, just in case we have got a professional who can also help us.
I'm good at ringing the ambulance.
So this is actually an interesting piece that we've got stacked up here. These, believe it or not, are actually speaker boxes, which are made to go with in-wall speakers and in-wall subwoofers. These are actually in-ceiling subwoofers that are being made for a demonstration facility. So here on this shelf, these are the typical sort of metal profiles that we'll use for building the screens. There's a bit of a combination of items here.
And can you get these, can you get them wrapped with a black velour if you wanted to?
So we'll see velour wrapping at a later
okay.
stage of the whole process. Yes, velour wrapping is something we're very used to doing.
Fantastic.
So this thing here, this is our 3D printer. So we use a Mark Forged 3D printer, which actually uses chopped carbon fibre filaments. So quite a lot of the parts on the screens are actually 3D printed.
Wow.
Now, this unit, this was the first thing that Simon and I ever bought as a piece of capital investment. And I think it's maybe waited for about 10 hours of not being used ever since. So if that was a car, it would have 400,000 kilometers on it. So props to the guys at Mark Forge for making a pretty amazing 3D printer that we use all the time.
I don't know if you've seen this. So that's a profile for an 8 meter wide, so it's 7 meter wide.
Sorry.
This is 7 meters
That's
wide.
6 meters there,
6 meters. That's a 6 meter wide screen. Incredible. And the largest you've done is an 8 meter wide screen.
8 meter 4-way. I guess we would never have imagined it, but actually our average screen now is over 4 meters.
Wow.
The directionality, it basically reinforces, instead of being omnidirectional, it turns into a half space and you get a 6 dB gain in performance, which is normally a good thing. People like to do that. It has other benefits as well.
Essentially, the speakers are floating.
Yeah, in this construction. This now
Totally
means,
isolated from
Yeah.
vibration, so literally whatever energy is coming out of the speaker, it's more efficient.
Yeah.
So this is a sneak preview of a new screen, so don't tell anybody about it. So basically, up until recently, all of our screens have been tuck fabric, similar to how you would tuck a fabric onto a wall. And we've worked quite extensively to work out how we can make that easier. A lot of people use things like lace and grommet, things like that, and they all have their drawbacks. The one nice thing about the tuck fabric is you get a very even stretch across the entire screen surface. So whether it's here or here, whatever, we know the acoustic transparency of that because it's stretched evenly. With a lace and grommet, you'll often, and you'll visually, you can sometimes see it as well, especially on a knitted screen surface, you'll see kind of like pulls because it's tensioned in certain areas. What we've done here is we've used the technology that we also use in our fabric wall system, so it's got a silicone stitched edge on it. So the screen surface is cut, and we'll see that next door in a minute on our CNC table. But it's then got a silicone bead that's stitched onto the edge of that, which gives us an exact known tension of the fabric, but also very, very easy tool-less, so we can tuck the four corners in, and it doesn't matter whether that's a 7 metre screen or a 2.5 metre screen, it's exactly the same way that goes in. So it's a much, much quicker to install screen surface.
So you do 90% of the work while Neil does the international flights to meet the clients?
I don't even do that anymore. Zoom.
Yeah. To be honest, we spend 90% of our time on Zoom to each other.